Okay, let's move on to part C. So um, this program asks you to check whether a certain list of number is in non-decreasing order. What does that mean? A non-decreasing order is uh, like for every number in the list, the following number is only larger or equal than the previous number. Something like this can be equal. Two numbers can equal, but the following one cannot be smaller than the previous one. Okay, so let's look at the sample program. So firstly, it asks the user to enter three integers, and then it will compare these integers and print out whether the three integers are in a non-decreasing order. Okay, let's see how it is done here. So if a is less, so let's look at the if-else conditions from the outmost. So if, else if, and else. So it says if a is smaller or equal to b, it will jump to this block. Else if a larger than b, it will jump to this block here, this block. Else it will jump to this block. Okay, so let's see the three blocks. So if a is less than or equal to b, it will come here and then compare whether b is smaller or equal to c. If it is, it will say the values are in non-decreasing order. Of course, because a is less than or equal to b, and here, if b is less than or equal to c, of course, is in non-decreasing order. Otherwise, it's not. Okay, so this is the first block, and second block, else if a is larger than b. So it do some comparison and print out exactly the same thing. So which is not necessary, because if a is larger than b already, then the list is not in non-decreasing order, right? A is already larger than b, it's not non-decreasing. So there's no point of doing this. Have you noticed that this else is never reached? Because if a is less than or equal to b, so the relationship between a and b are these two only. It's either a is less than or equal to b, or a is larger than b, which means for any given number a and b, it will either jump in here or jump in here. It will never jump in here. As we can see, this program contains many redundant expressions. So what can we do to remove these redundant comparisons? Let's look at how we can do better. Okay, so this is how we can we can make it simpler and more clear to read. So basically, it will just say a is smaller or equal than b, and b is smaller or equal than c. So which means the value are in non-decreasing order. So just one comparison will do, no redundant comparisons. All right. And another thing I want to mention is make sure you use and here. Here, make sure you use and rather than or. So if you say something like this is incorrect, because we need to make sure that both the conditions satisfies return true. Okay? Yeah.